Hi guys, welcome to my channel. For today's video, we will talk about defensive driving. So my first video was just an introduction. Now, my second video is about defensive driving. So first, we will define what is defensive driving. So, as per Wikipedia, defensive driving says it's a driving skills to save lives, to save lives, to save time and money in spite of the conditions around you and the action of others. So that's the definition of Wikipedia. So in DMV, defensive driving, so as per DMV, the definition of defensive driving is the following. So it says being constantly aware, planning ahead, anticipating what's next, to avoid collision. So in my first video, we talked about how my brother was being hit by a drunk driver. So defensive driving, that driver is not driving defensively. So we all know that you don't want to be the cause of someone, and you don't want to be being into a collision or getting into an accident. So you know already what's the consequence of having that. So I will just share to you my experience. So in the Philippines, so this is the driving conditions in there. It's really vital to be a defensive driver. So as you see in this picture, the motorcycle is swerving to your left and to your right. There is a distance also. So since it's with the ongoing situation, social distancing, so in the manual there is a designated distance. So to avoid, for example, you need to anticipate what will the other people do. So this is really vital. So the challenge is in this picture. In the picture that I am showing you, your main challenge being a defensive driver is how to get home safe. With some of the truck drivers, so my really experience when I was driving in there is that some of the truck driver don't properly signal. The signaling is the most important one, because if you will not turn on your signals, you will just be guessing what will be your next move. So I encounter a truck driver in there that are really not driving defensively. So thank you to my instructor, so Sir Dennis in A1 SM Bikutan. So if you're in the Philippines, guys, Sir Dennis is really a very good instructor. So I'm commending him for teaching me the tricks, how to avoid them, how to defensively driving. So aside from that, since we have different mode of transportation, so aside from that, I'm just sharing to you my experience. Aside from that is motorcycle. We already discussed. There's a truck, there's a bus, and there's a jeepney. So if you've been there for a while, jeepney is the main transportation. But in there, jeepney will just if the driver saw there's a passenger needing for a ride, the jeepney driver will suddenly stop. So because that's their main occupation. So as a defensive driver, you need to anticipate that driver will stop. So to save time also, so you need to anticipate that kind of scenario. So well, on the other hand, since I'm already here in the United States, I just want to also commend, by the way, this is not a paid advertisement, guys. I'm just really thankful to my instructors. You don't want to be the cause of their misfortunes. Even you don't want to be injured by somebody, and you will not be the cause of someone's death or whatsoever, so injury or death. So on the other hand, guys, when I came here in the United States, I thought it would be easy for me, but defensive driving is really important wherever you are in the part of the world, around the globe. So when I came here in the United States, we all know that the probability, the faster the car is, the probability of getting into heaven, if I will not be a defensive driver, will be fast. So I took my driving school in here, and thank you to my instructor for teaching me the tricks on how to do it defensively. So coming from the Philippines and going in the United States, there are certain practices that I still having hard time to adapt. So the first thing is the braking. So we all know, because back from where I came from, so you are a defensive driver in there, so you always your footworks, so your foot is always on the brake side, because every now and then the braking motorcycle will swerve to the left and to the right. It's just like my brain is constantly aware of the brake. I will automatically do the braking. Plus, guys, it's very common in there, like the pedestrian lane. People will, if they wanna cross in the busy street, they will really cross. Instructor, give me tips on how to do it. So by the way, this is my instructor. See, go and drive. Mr. Good Dog is really very great. So in overcoming my fear and building my confidence. So what I've learned is that people they have different attitude in the streets, guys. So being a defensive driver is just like you don't wanna be in a blame game. So it's really a responsibility to drive defensively. And what else should I say to you with driving defensively? So the braking. So I'm not comparing it, but the challenge is how will you arrive safe. So the purpose of this video is how will you foresee the other person's action, given the fact that they made a mistake not to turn on their signals, or maybe they turn on their signals but it's a wrong signal. So that's one thing that you need to be keen when driving defensively. Then the second point that I wanna mention is that here in the United States, it's just like I haven't drove for that faster speed, because I was used to really with all the traffic and everything. Of course, in the province it's a way faster, but I was in the city back then when I learned how to drive, so it's more struggling. So in here, guys, it's really, I was like shocked. So my instructor, of course, he's assessing me. I did not I got scared. It's just like the faster the car is, I got scared, because it's really my first time driving in the faster speed. So to cut the story short, this is with the 4 lanes with the faster speed. So at first I was really nervous when handling, but I cannot be nervous because I'm really in the middle of the freeway. And then yeah, one scenario in there was just like, I think beside me was, there's this driver that fall asleep. I don't know, because the car were swerving and he's just merging to my lane. It's just like, in the Philippines also, guys, we do the horn to get rid of that person. Like when you're slow, we did the horn. But in here, I seldom practicing. The practice of the horn is not really, it's just like in heard horns in here. But in my country, the horns were just like every day you need to horn somebody. It's just like sometimes it's annoying, but when I came here, where that it's just like impolite. I don't know, it's just like if the situation gets worse, only when the situation gets worse you need to horn somebody. So that's how my first timer observation. So of course I'm just observing. And then the distancing also is really being practiced, but you cannot avoid certain people that have an attitude in the streets. So to make my video as as concise and share to you my experience, so hope you all guys drive defensively. The main goal is just like to remind somebody to really drive defensively, to avoid to reduce the risk of collision. And I mentioned to you, right, that if you the repair cost is very expensive in here. So also I mentioned to you about the rates of the insurance. That's one thing for sure. So without making my video so long, I hope this is just a reminder to really drive defensively. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, hope you will consider subscribing to have further updates and to really spread awareness to the people who just seem to ignore that the driving defensively is very important. So as part of the license, in the manual in there, there's this driving defensively. So to save lives, to save time, to save money, you need to be aware. So we're not we all made mistakes, so some other people might have done the wrong move, but this video is just to remind how to drive defensively, to save lives, save time, save money. And it's just like drive defensively and enjoy driving. So we want to keep safe all the time, especially with this current situation. So thank you for watching, and see you soon in my next topic, because I can't really give it to you just one at a time. So let's just take it slow, step by step, to really absorb the topic and learn it by heart. So thank you all, and have a blessed day, and always remember to drive safely. Thank you all guys. Bye bye.